everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome.
And we welcome. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Second down following the run. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
All right, here we go. Blue,
looking to throw. He's going to fire one deep. Middle. He's got him in. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They give him a gain of 38.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. He'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
green 39, green 39.
On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to go down again.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Here's the Panthers punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. One semi-factor, if you want to call it that was brought up in the papers this morning here, Charles. You got a dome team on the road in a cold weather environment, first round of the playoffs in January. Do you think that's a big deal?
Ordinarily, I say no. But in this situation, because you're used to that perfectly controlled environment, some coaches will want their teams exposed to it. If you're coming from a warm weather place that, even getting outside of your dome doesn't really help you, a lot of times they'll go on the road a little bit earlier. Go to a cold weather place, go to a place where there's a little bit of weather and practice there that week before the game to try and simulate the conditions they expect come game day.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. To throw again. Buckley. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Off play action. Buckley. He's got his man on the crossing route. He's at the 40. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there, 94 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Kai Forbath on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll set up a throw. From left side, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 30 yards there.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Second down following the incompletion.
Here we go.
Now a handoff looking right. And some room to maneuver. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Here we go.
They go play action here on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll look to throw. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
Back to throw here. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And now out comes Minnesota. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Nifty move there on the run, but ultimately brought down at the 25. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Green, 39.
Off the play fake. Buckley. Wide open receiver complete. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
And you also just sit back, ready to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
There he goes inside the 30. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the
Give me the
football.
ball.
And guess what? I'd throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
From the gun on third down, Buckley. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
So 1 quarter in the books here the opening weekend of the NFC playoffs. The Vikings are in the lead early. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads. Took him right off his feet at the 16.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline, somewhat happy.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. And it's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Panthers coming out now.
And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
I'll tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now they try the right side here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Back to throw. Buckling. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was 0 space, no gain. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw. Room here to run. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers that can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
The offense on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is third and goal. They're going to look to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Buckley, quick hitter here, it's complete. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And not his best effort there, as this one's going to be spotted down just outside of the 40-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play.
3-19.
Now back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Panthers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Watching now, Marty.
He'll drop to throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they decline it, as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So as it turns out, that sack does not wind up costing him, at least in terms of getting points. They get 3.
Yeah, once you see your quarterback go down the backfield, you think, uh-oh. But fortunately for them, their kicker came to the rescue and made sure they got something out of that drive after all.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Second and very short here, less than a yard.
Let's go.
From the gun, Buckley, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Looking to throw. Buckley, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handing it to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Panthers have controlled the flow, but it hasn't given them a big advantage. The Vikings won't care how much their offense is on the field as long as they find a way to advance in these playoffs. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Vikings with the football midway through the first. Vilma's got the catch here, and he caps off the 2-play drive with the score as they put the first points on the board. Panthers on offense midway through the second. Klui's been clearing some space. He'll pick up more than 10 yards on the play. Panthers would stall out, though, and settle for a field goal. We're set up for a great second half, so let's get you out to it. Here's Brandon Guyton.
All right, thank you, Larry. Plenty of intrigue to come. A 1-point game as we get set for half 2. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. First down, Buckley. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play? Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. It's hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Back to throw. Buckley, he's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
A gain of 3, second down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Panthers on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They're like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard, right at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing on first down. Buckley throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Buckley. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. On 3rd down, it's Morgan. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes, leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot. And on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Forbath will put this one through. And the lead grows to 4. It's 13-9. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This will be taken very short. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Back to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's the Panthers punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
To throw on third down. Buckley finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On 1st and 10, Buckley. He's going to sling this deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Carolina territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 53 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. And they'll run it here. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. On third down, Buckley. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Forbath will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And what a pressure spot for both sides, really. But they're at home now. They have the football here in the playoffs, sort of controlling their own destiny.
It's a spot they've all dreamed of. This is where you want to be. Home, have the ball, a chance to win the game, control your own destiny, as you noted. But here's the thing. Don't let the crowd get too involved if you're this team now. You've got to make sure you Let them carry you, but not cause you to do things out of what you're supposed to do, right? Take you away from focusing and concentrating on the game.
Because sometimes you get so amped from the crowd that can carry you into spots you don't want to be. Is that what you're saying?
From experience, sometimes that crowd gets so involved in it and you get involved with them that you end up making plays or trying to do things that maybe you shouldn't have done.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe could expect more passes like that downfield. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Panthers on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Looking to throw. Buckley. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. off here to his running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 more yards there and another first down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. On third down, that's Morgan. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And Forbath will put this one through, and that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the fourth quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. So they won their division and earned the right to play at home in the first round of the playoffs, but this one is not going to script so far.
Nowhere did they have the thought process that they'd be down double digits. But the good thing is it's the first half. You and I know, I mean, you've been with me long enough now. Hang with the game plan. Stay the course for a while. Don't panic and change up things. Keep grinding. Long way to go in this ball game.
That was my question to you. You don't throw everything away at this point. Stay on course.
And stay on course. Obviously, you want to eliminate the things that have caused you to be down double digits. But at the same time, you're not getting it all back in one play. Keep going. The game plan was put in there for a reason.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And here now the offense heading back out there. This one not in the win column just yet, but on the road is the 6th seed. They are close to pulling off the upset.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx them. I'm like you. It's not over yet, but I'm going to go ahead and project here. Win this one. Think about the momentum now that you carry, right? You carry that forward. And look, home field's a big deal in the playoffs, but the really good teams, and we've seen it plenty of times in NFL history, they can go on the road and win. And a win here would allow them to do exactly that.
Of course, the road doesn't get much easier as you have to face the top seed next week, but they'll deal with that then.
Hey, they'll take this win and take on the top seed anywhere because they're still in the playoffs and still alive for a chance at the Super Bowl.
Let's go!
handoff as they run the counter play. And he is going to lose yardage here. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And now here's a carry heading left. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. And under 20 seconds now as the spike comes with 18 ticks remaining. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 17. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it. And if he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at about the 31, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And this looks to probably be the final play. And I know it's hard to find solace on one side when the season ends, no matter where it ends, but especially in the playoffs because there's all that build up to the moment. But I would imagine the post-game locker room speech, it'll have a pretty positive spin.
It should. They've made a heck of a run to get to the playoffs and have that chance to advance, even though they didn't. But you're right about how much it's going to hurt because when you work that hard to get this far, it hurts just a little bit more. No matter when your season ends, it's a downer. But in this case, even more so because you had your eyes on the big prize, which was the Lombardi Trophy.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. Till next time, we say so long from Charlotte.